So Marvel's first family finally joins the MCU in the film The Fantastic Four: First Steps. In this film, the titular Fantastic Four must protect their 1960s-inspired retro-futuristic world from the planet-devouring cosmic being known as Galactus. That is the official, well, I guess, quote-unquote, official plot summary synopsis type of thing that's available on Wikipedia, mainly because I don't want to go into any spoilers. I don't want to reveal any kind of plot details or plot elements. Because I don't remember what exactly they revealed in the trailers, so I'm trying to be as vague as possible. Overall, I think this is a very, very good movie, but I don't think it's a great one. And there's a very specific reason why that I'll get into later. First and foremost, visually, this thing is really, really great. It's an excellent film in terms of its technical side. Visually, it is really, really stunning. It's some of the best VFX Marvel has ever done, with the exception of one entirely CGI character. I'm going to assume they're entirely CGI. With the exception of one entirely CGI character, almost every visual effects moment in this looks pretty damn near perfect. There's an entire 20-minute sequence in the middle of the film that just looked spectacular. The film is also very reminiscent of Interstellar or 2001 in terms of its space sequences and how grand and massive it makes those sequences feel. I don't know how much of the effects were practical. This being a multi-million-dollar feature, I'm going to assume 0% of it is practical, just so I can be amazed when I'm proven wrong. But yeah, almost everything from a visual effects standpoint, brilliant. Really, really enjoyed it. Speaking of which, Galactus, who is finally given a physical form in one of these films. He's not just an evil cloud. Not only do the visual effects on him look stunning, but his voice is just so powerful and bassy. A lot of that is already due to Ralph Ineson's incredible voice, but the added bass and reverb just had the theater shaking from him talking. He just commands your attention every time he's on screen. It's brilliant. Silver Surfer is also very similar in that regard. Her voice just echoes around the speakers. Again, that's every single channel, it's just echoing her voice. It has this very powerful ethereal quality to it. I thought it was really well done. On top of that, Julia Garner is just, she's a fantastic actress. She does try to add a quality of sadness to the role that the film doesn't really explore as much as I would have liked, but she does try her best with what she's been given. But besides the technical side of things, like I said, I think the film is pretty good, just kind of short of being great. I love the four in this. I love Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards. I loved Ebon Moss-Bachrac as the Thing. I even like Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm, who was the one person I was sort of hesitant on. I thought he did really, really great. But the real standout for me was Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm. She was given the most to do from a performance standpoint, and she just knocks it out of the park. In many ways, it almost felt like an apology for how Jessica Alba and Kate Mara's version of the character was written. It feels nothing like either of those two other portrayals. So if you have a memory of how Jessica Alba played Sue Storm, if you have a memory of how Kate Mara played Sue Storm, you might as well fucking throw that away. It's nothing like those two performances. But yeah, all four of them just have a really strong family dynamic that the film really relies on for that first hour, and it makes you really connect with them. For the first time, Johnny Storm is not just a fucking asshole to Ben Grimm. They actually kind of have a brotherly sort of relationship with each other. They have friendly banter, not I want to kill the other person banter.
What time is it, Ben?
No.
What time is it, Ben?
No, Johnny.
Say it!
I don't wanna!
Say it!
But the main issue I have with this film, and the thing that keeps me from loving it, is the story itself. I think it has a really great premise, the premise of Galactus coming and, oh, I'm gonna destroy and eat your world. I think that's, it's fun comic booky stuff. And I love that first hour of the film where it is more character driven, where it is a lot smaller. But once a certain set piece in the film ends, The film almost seems eager to just rush to the finish line. By the time the credits had rolled, I felt like an entire hour had been cut out of the movie. This is gonna sound really bad, and I need you to keep in mind that what I'm gonna compare this to, I'm only talking about pacing. I am not talking about story. I'm not talking about acting. I'm not talking about any of that. I felt pacing wise, this reminded me a lot of the theatrical cut of Justice League, where it felt like a massive section of the film was just gone, to the point where it almost sort of falls apart. But unlike Justice League, this still managed to craft a mostly interesting and engaging story, despite it still feeling really rushed and underdeveloped. Again, do not take me comparing this to Justice League as I'm not comparing it for any other reason. It's just for the pacing and the structure. My watch is telling me to calm down because I can feel my heartbeat like racing. I don't want to get killed, so please just keep that in mind. I have to make that very clear. But yeah, there's just certain character dynamics they needed to explore more of in the second half, and there's actually entire action set pieces that should have been included in full. There's a character that's given a huge role in the film's finale, but we barely know anything about them, so the impact of that moment doesn't hit as hard as it should. There's also a huge shakeup in the team that happens in the second half, and we barely get to explore how that affects the group on a personal level. We get to explore how that affects the group in a more grand scale, but I wanted to, really explore the more personal. I don't want to spoil it. But yeah, I wanted the film to just kind of slow down and be more character focused in the second half. Yeah, there's just a lot of interesting ideas here that they could have explored more of, but they just didn't. And what's wild is that there is a bunch of scenes and characters from the trailers that just aren't in the film. A good chunk of that first teaser trailer we ever got is not in this movie. You might as well just it reminded, thinking back on it now, it reminds me of those Pixar teasers where they would just animate an entire special scene just for the trailers. That's kind of what that trailer is now, having seen the final film. And I don't just mean scenes, I mean entire characters from the trailers just aren't in the film. And it's, okay, I'm not trying to advocate or imply the existence of a Mark Shakman cut of the film. Mark Shakman being the director of the film. I'm also not trying to say that a 3-hour cut is necessarily better. It's entirely possible that the version of the film released in theaters is the best possible version of this film that could have ever existed. And my gripes could entirely be with the script itself and not with studio interference or just heavily cutting things down to keep it under 2 hours. We just won't know if a longer cut would make this film better or worse. We just won't know. But yeah, I just really wanted the film to slow down in the second half. That's really the big issue with this, is the pacing of it. But yeah, I still think that this is a good film. I do think it's one worth checking out. Even just for the performances alone, I think it's worth seeing. There are 2 post-credit scenes. One of them I really, really loved, and the other one I thought was just okay. To give you an idea of the post-credit scenes that I love, my favorite is Bruce Campbell at the end of Doctor Strange.
It's over!
And my second favorite is Star-Lord eating cereal. So, with that in mind, you can guess, you can have a pretty good hypothesis of the vibe and tone of the post-credit scene that I loved. So yeah, that's gonna do it. I think Fantastic Four is good. I don't think it could have been great, but it's as it stands, it's good. I don't want to compare this to Superman or Thunderbolts because that's going to be mean to this film. But yeah, have you guys seen the Fantastic Four First Steps? If you have, let me know down in the comments below. I would love to know your guys' opinions on it. And yeah, that's going to do it for this one. So see you guys in the next one. Long live cinema.